You don't call it that,
Lanes are far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Well, a ho, and welcome to the St. Stephen's Day special pre-record with me, Dermot, aka Dermatron from Waxford and Ireland, and of course, Tequila all the way from the Seychelles in Barbados on Boxing Day for him, because nobody thought it'd be a good idea to call it two different things in two different countries and just confuse everyone to hell. But Tequila, before we get started, I have some breaking news. I want to introduce you to the new Spurs transfer team that are going to give Thomas Frank all the players he needs for the transfer market. Are you ready? Now, there is a drum roll somewhere. I had this all prepared. Where's the drum roll? Come on, where's the drum roll? Here we go. There you go. There's the new transfer team for Tottenham.
Better than Lange. There you go.
Yeah. If you're looking for Lang's the one with the big ears and the funny glances and the long trunk. I don't know who the other three are. They must be new. They must be started. I think that's Charlie, Viv, and Vinay. The other three members of the transfer team.
Dermo, just because you're upset they cancelled your Christmas dinner plans with you doesn't mean that you should be taking a mick like this, Dermo.
I don't care. They promised me a 4-course meal, didn't give me one.
But I went in your place, mate. I ate well.
I know you did. You were telling me about it. Champagne and everything. Do you think this is the team to get us forward to the? It is. This is the team. So yeah, welcome to Tottenham's new transfer recruitment team.
It couldn't be any worse. So let's go over them. Why not? Everyone needs a chance.
Yeah. Right. Big up to you. Happy Boxing Day to you, Tequila. How is it in Barbados? You're sunning yourself over there in the Seychelles, having a nice time.
Me and
cocktails.
Me and my double Simon Jordan, we're in Barbados. We've both got fake tans. Real tans that we got. And we've just been, back in the courage of our convictions, talking about both of us used to own Crystal Palace at different times, apparently. So got a lot in common, me and Simon.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm in cold Wexford, where it is very cold today. As cold that certain parts of my anatomy has turned blue. There you go.
No pictures of them, Dermo. Nobody wants to see that stuff, bro.
No. Okay, no. Nobody's good. What do you think I would do that? Seriously.
Hey, look, I know some of the stuff people send each other in private messages, dude. I don't want to know. I know some of the stuff that goes down.
Look, Tequila, would you put down your cocktail? Just put it down for 20 minutes. And tell Simon to go away and go and play with these fishes. We need to talk Tottenham transfer stuff. Let's get on to this, guys.
We've been doing a lot of fishing, dude. A lot of fishing.
Yeah. Now, guys, we do have to. Oh, this is why I love working with you. You and me are like a comedy duo. Guys, we do have the January window opening very soon. Believe it or not, there is a window in January. And believe it or not, Tottenham might be busy. I don't know what, but they will be busy. But these are the players, Tequila, we're going to be after. And this is the first one up on the list. It is Kobe Mainoo of Manchester United. Spurs are one of the clubs interested. Look, for me, I think he'd be a good fit for Tottenham's midfield, actually, Tequila. I think he's a good player for Manchester United. He's young. Yes, he's gone off the boil a little bit. We've seen his brother doing these shenanigans at Old Trafford. But I just feel he would be the right fit for our midfield. I would give this one out of this is my own personal opinion. I give this sort a 7 out of 10 for it happening, either in January or in the summer. What about you, bud?
Are we rating it on if we think it's going to happen or how much I want it to happen, kind of thing?
Well, how much? Well, either.
But I don't know. I don't know if they'd be willing to sell, because we are kind of one of their rivals, because they're you know, they've obviously fallen. You know, we're not doing that well.
Mhm.
They're doing slightly better, but they're not exactly doing you know, they're doing okay. Would they want to sell to one of their more or less direct rivals at the minute, who are probably in the kind of same ballpark as them? I don't know. I'm not sure they'd want to sell to us. I'm not saying they wouldn't, but I don't think they'd want to. The player might have to kind of force it a little bit, which it sounds
Yeah.
like he wants to. As for the player himself, how good he is, I think we both wanted him a season or two ago, Dermo. I think if
Yeah, we
his
did.
name would have came up, I think he would have walked into our midfield. To be honest, I still think he probably does, because
Mm.
I think personally, I think he's probably better than Gray at the minute. I think he's probably better than Bentancur. I think he's probably better than Bergvall at the minute. Bergvall obviously is younger. Don't know if he's better than Paulinho. Could you play him next to Paulinho, or do you think or is that too defensive?
I think you could. I think he could play as a 6 and an 8. I do. I think he'd be very good. I think he would take either Archie Gray's place. I think he's an upgrade, definitely an
Oh,
Archie Gray.
yeah, well, yeah, I think he
Um,
is. Yeah, you got to remember
Bergville,
is that he played for he used to play for England quite a lot as well.
you did.
So
Bergville, I think him and Bergville might work well together. Actually, if you played two eights in midfield, I think he would complement each other. My opinion, but what do you think on that?
I think he'd be a good signing. I think that he probably does get into our team. He certainly
Mm.
would be a very important squad player. But that is the thing: if he doesn't want to be on United's bench, he's going to probably even consider coming to Spurs. He's going to have to be saying, "Well, you know,
Mm.
am I going to be starting every week?" That's the thing. Is he going to be? I think he probably would.
Yeah.
But who do we get rid of? Don't say Bassoon, because that one's obvious. I mean, we'd probably have to get rid of one to make room for him. Who do we get rid of?
I would say Bentancur.
Not sending
I
back
don't
to
think
Italy.
Bentancur's been the same player since his injury,
No,
personally.
he hasn't. He hasn't.
So what would you rate this one out?
Likelihood, I'll give 2 ratings. That's okay. Likelihood,
Mm.
I'm going to put a 6, 5, 6. How much I want it, I'm going to put an 8. I'd be quite happy with that.
Okay, I'll do the same. I think likelihood, I'd give it a 7, and want it to happen, I'm with you, an 8 or an 8.5 for me. I really want this one to happen.
You can always tell also, Dermo, because obviously, because me and you are friends with a couple of United fans like Rebel and Com, so we do kind of talk to them a lot.
Mm.
And they always liked him, and they don't really want him to go. So that should tell you quite a lot, that they don't really want him to go. At least last I heard. Maybe their opinions have changed,
Yeah.
but I can remember always joking with Com saying, "We'll take Maino off you," and he was like,
Yeah.
"You leave him alone." So that
Yeah.
suggests to me is that he must be pretty good. The fans, the
Yeah,
fans are not. The fans generally, when it comes to their own players,
not idiots.
well, they're the ones who watch their team every week.
Mm.
Me and you watch from the outside. They're the ones who
Yeah.
watch them every week. So
And look, for me also as well, Tequila, when you come to this with Manu as well, with Bruno Fernandes being injured, now would that throw a spanner in the works and
you're
keep him
probably
there
right.
now?
Yeah. That actually, now you've actually said that,
Mm.
that does make it a lot more unlikely. At least for January. Yeah, I think for January
Well,
it's probably a tough ask now.
yeah, but unless he's really pushing to move, you saw his brother's antics. The free, wasn't it free Manu or something like that, or free Kobe or something
Yeah,
like that.
but unless he really feels that he's got a chance of making the England squad, and I think with Anderson doing so well for Forest, I think he finds himself the chances of him getting it. Yeah, I don't think. He may think he's got a chance. I think it's unlikely he goes to England. So my point is that maybe because he doesn't, maybe he thinks, oh, okay, I can wait till the summer. I don't know.
Look, when it comes to the World Cup, we will be doing a show or a pre-record on the England squad to the World Cup, and we will get Tequila to rate them. Look, for me, I think your midfield. I think 2 midfield. I think 3 midfielders that should be going to the World Cup is Rodgers from Aston Villa, Anderson from Nottingham Forest, and Wharton from Crystal Palace. I think them 3 should be already on.
And
their
then
names should be.
And then you've got Declan Rice. You see what I mean? There's not.
Yeah.
See, the more you talk about these names, you realise that Manu just is not going to get in.
You mean that gobshite? Yeah.
I know you hate him, but he's probably our best midfielder, to be honest.
Well, I hope he falls over and breaks his little toe. And also, just very quickly, a side note to this, Isaac broke his leg at our game as well.
Yeah, I heard that.
And it was challenge really wasn't nothing, was it, Tequila? It really was. It was just I just don't get it. I mean, I feel sorry for him. He is the most expensive player in the Premier League, isn't he? So I feel sorry for him, but that's just
I never,
freak accident.
you never wish injury on any player. You know, just on the human level. Why, you know.
Yeah. Now
So-
there was a picture for this, but somehow it got deleted. I don't know why. I'll just take this off very quickly and make sure this bit. Yeah, there is. It's just this one. It's a striker, and it's Jean Philippe Mata of Crystal Palace, the French international. Striker, he is linked as a January target. Look, we need a striker, Tequila. There's no questions around that. We got no Solanke. Richarlison did get a goal on when we played Liverpool on Saturday before Christmas. But is this the man to do it? I don't think so. For me, I really don't think so. Crystal,
One thing, Dermo.
yeah.
I don't know because obviously this is coming out, so maybe the news will be, or maybe
Yeah.
the news will be out by the time I'm saying this. But there were rumours that Solanke's had another operation, and that he's going to be out for months.
Right. I mean, we
Just
did
what I heard. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's been confirmed or not, but
Well, we will ask. Maybe you can ask our source on what's happening. But if that is true, then we definitely need to get striking in January. Then definitely, that is for definite. Is this player? Would you be with him, Tequila? Would you say yeah? I'm not. I'm not sold on him, to be honest.
I think it depends what you. I think it depends on your ambition for Spurs, Dermo. What are you telling me you want to achieve, and then I'll tell you if I think he's good enough.
I want to achieve top 4 and win trophies. That's what I want to achieve.
Then probably not. Then I probably not. Then.
Yeah, you and me are very similar on what we want to see at Tottenham, and this is where I feel that where this transfer window, the owners really have to do or die by it. But also, Thomas Frank, the next 2 games coming up are going to be so crucial to his management at the club. And if we lose, say, the 2 games over Christmas, right, and go out of the FA Cup, then, and we're still within the January window, do the club then say, well, hang on a minute, we've got nothing to play for, we're not going to qualify for Europe, we're out the FA Cup, we're sort of dithering around, say, 12th, 13th, 11th, 12th, 13th place. Does the question have to be asked then, are we going to put money into this man? And if that's no, then do we go down your sort of road where you say, get loans with options or loan to buy, and we get it somehow with another manager? Or do you agree with Sava, which I do, by the way, that Tottenham have to buy players for our philosophy? We have to buy players for us, not for a manager, but for our philosophy. What do you do then if you're the owner and you're the chairman? Like,
I think in an ideal world, we would be a club a little bit like Ajax.
yeah,
A little bit like I'm trying to think of a good example in England. I suppose Brighton kind of have got what I would say is a good idea, whereas they always seem to have a conveyor belt, not of just players coming through, but also managers. It seems like they have a manager and then they've always got a backup plan. They was like, okay, so this is our current manager. We know that he could be tempted away because we know that as Brighton, we're never going to be the most attractive, right? We know this.
yeah.
But we've always got the next manager in mind, and normally it's a manager who will have a similar philosophy, how they play, the kind of players, how they like to play, and they stick to this blueprint. Without speaking for Sava, I think that's probably what he meant. Or like Ajax for me is probably the best example. Whereas you've heard about the Ajax system, where in the youth team, Dermo, what do they play? 4-3-3. What do they play when they get to when they get to the first team, the senior team? 4-3-3.
Yeah,
it's in their DNA. And their managers they hire always try and replicate that, and the players they bring in always try and replicate or suited for that system of way of playing. So I think that makes sense. The only problem you're going to have is it's choosing There is another way of doing it, like under Ferguson or like Wenger, where they were there for so long that they almost built a dynasty. But because none of our managers, the only one who was there for long enough who I could even consider was Pochettino. But we decided,
Maybe,
but this is what, but Spurs decided. Levy decided against it. He saw Mourinho was free. We know this. He decided against it. But that was the one to stick. Yeah, that was the one to stick with. That was the one to okay. So we're gonna because remember that Poch asked that he said the team needed to be rebuilt. Levy didn't go for it. Poch said the team needed to be rebuilt. He knew. So that was the guy to build the dynasty around. But we've done so much damage in the last 5 or 6 seasons that I think just buying players for each manager seems to just not be working. So Sava is correct. But that has to be implemented on such a club-wide level. Again, it's like me saying to you, purge it down. It is in a similar ballpark. Purge it down, rebuild it from the start up, get your identity, choose your identity, find players that fit that identity, find a manager if you can that fits that identity. And also if that manager, if you have to sack the manager for whatever reason, or he underperforms, which can happen, you've got the other manager already lined up. You've already got a backup manager. You've already got your next manager kind of in mind, who's got the similar philosophy, who you know is going to be able to work with the kind of players you're bringing in. It's foresight. It's planning. It's long-term planning and foresight. It's hard to do in today's world, Dermo, because we're so reactionary and stuff moves so fast. It's hard.
It is hard. But look, for me, out of this, I'll probably give this a 5 out of 10 and a 3 out of 10 for really wanting it to happen, and 5 out of 10 for it to happen.
I think it could happen because he would see us as a step up. So the likelihood I can see maybe about a 7. It's certainly possible. Would I want to? No, because I don't. I'm looking at some of his stats now, Dermo. He scored 7 goals this season in 16 matches.
Yeah,
that's more or less. Well, that's more or less the same as Richarlison.
It is.
And that's me not liking Richie, but I have to call it as I see it, right? So that suggests to me is he a massive upgrade? He probably is as an overall player. But we need a guy. Every team wants one of these, Dermo. We need a guy who gets his 20 goals a season. Is he that guy? I don't think he is.
We had that guy, but we let him go.
We sold the only 2 ones we ever had.
Yeah, we did. So
how much do I want him? I think he's better than Richarlison. He's probably similar to Solanke, maybe a slight upgrade on Solanke. So 6 out of 10. How much I'd want him for? I don't think he's a long term. I don't think he's the answer.
No.
But would I take him at the minute? Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't. But see, that's why I love football. See players so differently. Right, we've got Alessandro Bastoni. Spurs reportedly. I know you're giggling at this.
I can't help it. This is.
I know. When I got sent this, I did start laughing. I thought, yeah, right. Spurs reportedly admire him as a defensive reinforcement. Look, let's look at our defense. We have Dragosin, we have Danso, we have Romero, we have Mickey van der Ven as centre backs, right? And then we've got Tataki as well. So we've got 5 centre backs. So really and truly, you're going to have to sell one of them to get him to fit into that group.
Well,
are you really?
The thing about Bastoni is he's left-footed, so
he can play left back as well.
Yeah, it depends on how much you care about playing right-sided players on the right foot, left side, blah blah blah. People care about it a lot. I think it depends on how two-footed your other defenders are, right? So it does depend on the players you've already got. As of right now, though, we've got Van der Ven, who's our left-sided defender, right? Always going to be first choice probably, but we've got nobody who's a left-footed centre half other than Ben Davies, who, let's be honest, we don't want really playing. We don't. Barring an emergency, we don't want him really ever playing for us.
Barring everyone else, all the revenues
being injured, everyone else being injured, and literally you just need to get a body out there. Then you call on Ben Davies.
Yeah.
So if you're asking me, get rid of Ben Davies and bring in Bastoni, well, of course. Of course. I'd love him at the club. That would give us. I'd probably jettison Dragosin. I'd probably keep some of the kids as like 5th or 6th choice. Bastoni and Van der Ven on the left side, rotating or playing. And if need be, as you've just said, if need be, Van der Ven can go left back for a couple of games. which I think, he said that he likes playing there as well. We heard that on the overlap. So, that would be good. Imagine if you put him at left back sometimes and you had Bastoni and Romero, and then you had Van der Ven at left back sometimes. I'm not saying it would be every game because Van der Ven still was obviously really good at centre half.
Yeah.
But it would throw up these options, Dermo.
It
But
would. I mean,
how much is he going to cost? He's going to cost a fortune.
yes. And you look at Romero when we played Liverpool and his reaction to the foul and the way he let us down. And he did let us down. He was hot-headed. He got booked for mouthing to the referee, and then he got sent off for a stupid, ridiculous, thick bit. And he was goaded into it as well by Liverpool player. Liverpool player knew exactly what he was doing. And Romero, either you like his Argentinian, South American spirit or whatever it is, he killed the momentum we built when we were trying to get back into that game. There was momentum there, and once he got sent off, it died. And that was a Liverpool team at the weekend that we could have beaten. I think Liverpool are league champions, and they're league champions for a reason. But this season, they've not been their best. They were there for the taking. And I think if he had stayed on the pitch, didn't get himself sent off, I would have bet my bottom dollar we would have got an equaliser. But we've now lost him for the Palace game. We're now looking either at Danso or Draxon to come in to replace him. If we had a Bastoni to come in, I'd be more confident of us in our back four. I'm not confident in a Draxon or a Danso, Tequila. I'm really not.
See, I disagree a little bit on this one. I agree with you about Dragusin. He hasn't done anything to suggest that he should be anywhere near the first team, to be honest.
Probably Danso more.
Danso, I think Danso is not bad. He's a world beater, but I think he's an old-fashioned centre half as well. Yeah, he's not gonna pass his way out of trouble. He's not gonna move into the midfield a little bit. He's not gonna do that. He's gonna win stuff in the air, and he's gonna be very physical. I don't mind it. I don't mind Danso. I think Danso is a perfect backup for Romero. Yes, of course, we'd rather Romero be there, but to come in for a game or two, I'm okay with it. With Bastoni,
he's more of a steady Eddie, isn't he, Danso?
And this is the problem with Bastoni, is that Bastoni is not going to come to sit on the bench, and because we've got Van der Ven, unless we really are going to flog him, and I think in the next 1 to 2 years, I will personally be very surprised if he's still a Spurs player. People don't want to hear it, but we've all been here before. We know how this game is played. So I mean, if we were to lose Van der Ven, Bastoni would be a very good option for us. But in January, Dermo, I don't think so, personally. The rating is, I think it's very low. I think it's like a 3 out of 10. Very unlikely.
Yeah.
How much do I want it? I would say 10 because he's a great defender. So by all means.
I would have to agree with you. I think 3 or 4 out of 10 for happening in January, unless he desperately wants to leave Milan. He desperately wants a new club.
How many years contract has he got left? Do you know?
I think he's got 2 years left.
Okay, so they don't have to sell then, do they? Not yet.
They don't have to stone. Just let me double check. But for me, for wanting it to happen, like you, absolutely like you, 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Just let me check now. Sorry. Oh God! When you ever want your computer to do something, it never does it for you. Sorry. I mean, look. I think. Let me see now. Okay, so let's look. Let's see now. Where is transfer? Transfer things. See, we always try to get you the. Oh, here we go. Transfer market. Right. Okay. So his market value at the moment is 80 million. His contract runs out in 2028.
Okay. So yeah, there's still 2.5 years.
Yeah,
left on his deal. Then
he is 26 years of age. He can play either left or right as a centre back.
Okay.
Yeah, he joined Inter Milan in 2017. His contract runs out in 2028. He last contract extension was the 5th of July, 2023. He joined Inter Milan for 33 million, and he's now worth 80 million.
And also, Dermo, we kind of mentioned it in the backstage. This is a player, if people remember, who Conte was all over.
Yeah.
And who did we get instead, Dermo? Tell us the left-sided defender we got instead on loan instead
Is
of
it
him.
Joe Rodon?
Nope, it was Philippe Clement.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
And people wonder why. Conte left, huh?
Yeah. If you want to know what's wrong with Tottenham, there it is in a nutshell, as the Keeler says.
Just saying. Do you wonder why Conte left?
Now, interested clubs are Barcelona and Bayern Munich, but 34% possibility of transfer and 36. There's no hell's chances come to us. But look, it was given to us and we give it to you. That is what we do. Now, we're going for this. Carlos Belbella from Brighton. Do you know what, Tequila? I like him.
He's a very good player.
He is a very good player. Do you know, where are you with him, bud?
He's an upgrade on what we've got. That's the first thing. He was quite heavily rumored for United, I thought. I don't know if they're not in. I assume that maybe they're not in for him anymore. But that's where I thought he was most likely going to head, at least in the summer. But of course, it didn't happen. I'd imagine we'd face some competition for him, though, Dermo. We won't have a clean sweep of him. And again, it will depend on who else is interested in him. I think he'll have plenty of suitors, to be honest, dude.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, he's got Bayern Munich, Liverpool are after him. He is worth 60 million in the current transfer market. He does play as a number 6 and a number 8 in that midfield. If you're looking at him and Mainu, say Palhinha is the 6 and him and Mainu in the midfield, does that transform the Spurs midfield for you? He definitely gets ahead of Bergville and he definitely gets ahead of Archie Gray.
I think he's similar to Mainu. He could be slightly further along than Mainu, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
A little bit. Maybe it's just because Mainu has not been in the team much, whereas he always gets into the Brighton team. So he's just not played as much football lately. So maybe it's recency bias. I'm saying that. I think he's a harder get than Mainu. I think Mainu is a much more of a realistic. I'm not saying we wouldn't have any competition for Mainu. I'm sure that we would, but I think this guy is probably slightly on a higher level.
Yeah.
And you mentioned some of the teams there. He ain't gonna. If we go compete with Liverpool, I mean, come on, he's going to join Liverpool.
So, he is 60 million now. His contract runs out in 2028, Tequila. So again,
2.5 years.
I suppose going to pay 60 million.
No, because the way it works is because unless they want to sell, 60 million might be the value, but unless the club wants to sell, they're not going to. So you're looking at maybe 80.
I think Tottenham going to do that.
No, I don't think so.
Not a hell chance.
They'd be breaking their transfer record. Do you think this is the player they're going to break their transfer record for?
Now we're going for the next one, the America. Now we know there is a certain American YouTuber, Steve, who likes all things American, and I know he talks very highly of this individual. He has been talking very highly to me about him. But Bournemouth player Tequila can play as an 8, but can also play as a right midfield and right back as well. His contract runs out again in 2028, but 25 million current market value. Only one club that's interested is RB Leipzig from the Bundesliga, 26% chance that happening. Look, I think he's a replacement. I think he's a replacement for Porro, for Lord Porro. I know Tequila's favorite player. He loves Porro. He absolutely adores him. Runs his fan club and everything. I did.
As long as he keeps his mouth shut. I don't hate him as a player, but I just wanted to keep his mouth shut.
But having London number 6, does that mean we might not be looking to sign Palhinha when his loan ends up?
It's interesting that a lot of these names you're throwing me, Dermo, are the central midfield, because I said to you in the summer that there's a hole here that we need to fill, and we never did.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see you putting all these centre midfielders kind of an 8, and more of a kind of an attacking 8, which most of these players kind of are. Maybe not Mainu as much, but
yeah.
So if it's Frank who's identifying these players, or if it's Frank who's gone to the transfer board or whatever and said to them, we badly need a creative, deeper midfielder. I think we can do better than Tyler Adams. No offense, Steve. I don't think he's a bad player, not at all. And the fact that he can play with the right back could help. But then again, Archie Gray is a player who can play at right back and centre midfield as well. I can't see him. He's not going to start.
I don't think this would be a good. I don't think this would be a good buy for Spurs.
I just think that if we were to get him in, I think he's going to be a squad player. And I'm not saying that you need squad. You need a squad.
Yeah.
So if this signing is to be a squad player, then that's fine. But starting every week in the first 11 every week, I think they're probably better.
So what we didn't do with the last one as well. So very quickly, bad of me for this one. Out of 10, look, I think 4 for it happening in January. Do I want it to happen? I'm going to say a 6 or a 7. I'll go with 7 for wanting it to happen.
I think likelihood I'm going to go with a 5, and I think I'm with you. I think 7 is. He's better than what we've got. I think I still would prefer Mainu though, so I'm going to go with a 7.
Yeah, I would too. So if you're watching Colin, we're after Mainu.
Sorry, Colin.
And this one for Tyler Adams, I would say, look, the price is in Tottenham's price range, 25 million.
Yeah.
So you're probably looking at 30, 35 million to probably do the deal. I would say this one's probably easier to do than Mainu, so I probably would say as 8. Do I want it to happen? I'll have to go for a 5.
I think me and you are pretty aligned. I think it is certainly under the old Spurs, and until I see Enoch being anything different than the old Spurs, I'm going to assume it's going to be the old Spurs. Yeah. So based upon how Spurs generally do it, this is exactly the kind of player we would go for rather than spending 80 million on the lad from Brighton. This is exactly what Spurs would do. Who's a player we probably should get? We pay the 80 million from the guy from Brighton. But no, we'll get this guy for half the price who probably isn't as good, because that's what we do. So I think I'm going to say likelihood. I'm going to go 7, because I think that if we are in for him, he'll probably want to come, to be honest. We'll probably offer him more than he's making, I would imagine, from Bournemouth, all due respect. I don't think we're going to have anywhere near the levels of competition for him as we would for some of the other players. So I think maybe even an 8 for likelihood. If we're actually in for him, I think an 8 would be likelihood. How much do I want him for? Unless he's a squad player, then I'll raise up to a 6 if he's a squad player.
Now we've got this Swiss international, Ruben Vargas.
Okay.
Hang on, just let me get a bit more information for you guys on him.
I don't know him that well, this one.
That's why I'm going to do it now. Ruben Vargas, now he plays for Seville at the moment, so he's a left winger. Market value 12 million euro. Can play he can play anywhere in the front three. His main position is left wing. His other positions is right winger and a midfielder. His contract runs out in 2029. He only joined Seville possibly at the start of this in the summer. But he at his highest point, it was 33 million. Now, when Seville bought him for 7 million euro. He's now gone up to 12, so he has gone up a little bit. The highest market value was 13 million in 2020. He is out at the moment with a hamstring injury. Our return is unknown. And he is the brother of Manuel Vargas. He was a centre back. Look, we know we need a left winger, Tequila. We know we desperately need one because of Sonny. But no disrespect to this lad. He's not the player for me. I think the price tag sort of tells you all you need to know. Look, for me, I'm just going to say it. I don't really spend too much time in this one because I just think likely happening probably really high, a 7 or 8 because of the price tag. Do I want it to happen? I'm going to give this a 2 for me. Not the option for me.
I'm just bringing up some of his stats here. Okay, so he's older than I thought he was. I thought, is he a young player? He's 27.
Yeah.
I think again, I'm with you. He's played the majority of his career. This is his first time being in one of the top leagues.
Yeah.
As you say, he's La Liga. Before that, he was in Augsburg, FC Augsburg. And before that, Lucerne. I haven't heard of some of these.
Yeah, he started
Where's
his career
Lucerne?
at,
Is that
yeah, he
Switzerland?
started his career at Lausanne in 2015. He
Okay.
spent from 2015-19 in the Swiss league, and then he
Yeah.
went to the Bundesliga for Augsburg, and then he joined Seville from there. Look, no
I
disrespect
mean,
to the player, Tequila, but a no for me, mate.
I honestly don't know him that well, right? So it is hard for me to actually analyze a player.
Yeah.
But based upon the stats and everything like that, from what I'm seeing here, based upon the fact that he's not a young player like I thought he was, is he an upgrade on Odeberg? Who I think is a probably best left winger. That's not saying much, but I'm thinking I don't think he is particularly an upgrade on Odeberg, is he?
I don't think he is. No, I don't think so.
Then he's gonna be the same thing as all the other left wingers we've got. That it's just like he won't be good enough.
It's the price tag, though, Tequila.
Maybe
I'm wrong. Maybe
I'm
wrong.
You're not wrong. He's probably a very attractive prospect for that price because if we're still going under the old Enoch model, this is exactly the player you Mr. Levy would bring in.
This is where, to be honest, I want to be. You want them. This is where they want. You want to say, well, look, they have changed, and this is where I want them to prove me wrong. If we're going to start going from, and it really does show the players that we've been, the list that I was given by the people we use, Tequila, and these types of price of players are on this list, then it's pointing the one way, isn't it? And look, I'm going to I know we talked about it on our Christmas Day stream about Paratici, but I just want to add something else to this. This really speaks volume of a Johan Lang sort of list. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I thought it was meant to be that Lang was meant to be going over young players. That's why at 27 he doesn't fit the profile of that young player I was thinking of.
As we talked about in the Christmas Day stream, and I hope everyone enjoyed that, like and subscribe that stream, by the way, guys, that we know Paratici is probably or already has joined Fiorentina. So then this is Lang's sort of window, and this is the problem with me. I do not trust Johan Lang with this window. If it's left to him, you might as well just kiss your window goodbye because he ain't going to do anything.
Yeah, he hasn't proved anything to me either.
No.
So I agree with you.
So out of this, probably 8 is going to happen because it's Enoch and they love spending this less money as anybody. But I'd want it to happen again. A tree, just no, please no.
I think again, I agree with you pretty much. If we're in for him for that money, this is the opportune signings that Levy used to love. So we'll find out if we do get him that it was Enoch and not Levy, or well, they're one and the same. Do I want him? Not even as a squad, because I want a proper left winger, and then Odeberg can become the squad player.
Yeah, I get it. You're right.
So
you're right. It's about
two out of 10. Nothing against the lad. I honestly don't know him that well as a player. So it could be Dermo. Maybe he's amazing. The stats don't suggest that, but maybe he's amazing. If you think he's amazing, leave us a comment and tell us how we're wrong.
Yeah.
Because
you know. What was the name of that player? Jose Roming. What was his name?
Jose Dominguez.
Yeah, he was an amazing player.
Yeah.
Well, we saw him for about 3 or 4 times, and that was it.
Mauricio Tarrico, do you remember him? Amazing player.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. I tell you, the best player I saw was David Ginola, and I saw him live a few times at the Lane. My God, that man.
You already know my feelings on Ginola. So
yeah, I know. That's why we put it in the intro. That was just for you.
Yep. See? Do you know what? I'd kill for a left winger Ginola right now.
Yeah. Do you know what I'll kill for? A Ginola and Les Ferdinand up front. A Van der Vaart in midfield. A Ledley King in defence.
Yeah.
And people are going to kill me for this, but Paul Robertson in goal.
No, I was thinking about this earlier about the keeper situation. I'm thinking about who's the most solid, like all around keeper we've had in a long time. Lloris was very good for us, but he had
Yeah, he
weaknesses.
was.
Robbo, I think, was the best all rounder. I
He
loved
was.
Robbo. I loved Robbo.
I think he was very, very good for England as well at the time.
He was. He was. Yeah, he had the occasional mistake in him, but generally he was much more consistent. Generally he was 7 out of 10 most weeks.
Do you know what? I think we need to do a show next year, Tequila, on pick our all-time Spurs 11. I think you may have got to do that. We'll pick it each.
Mine are going to come from a lot more recent.
You pick yours, I'll pick mine, and we'll get the subscribers and the viewers to vote which one wins. I really do. But look, I would say Eric Torsford in there as well. He was a good goalkeeper at the time. Ray Clements back in my day, my younger days, when you weren't even you were a little lad in hot pants, not even knowing what football was. Me watching Ray Clements.
Ian Walker, legend.
Oh really? Did you have the scored conversation?
That'll piss some people off. Yeah.
Ian Walker, are you serious?
Only for entertainment value, but I got a weird sense of humour, don't I?
Well, as somebody once says in the chat to me, this all Ian Walker made a mistake and chucked his TV out the window, and they had to go and buy a new one. Oh,
I love it.
I tell you a funny story very quick before we go to the next one. I was watching We Are Tottenham TVs the other night. There, it was sim at the ground on Saturday for the Liverpool game.
Yeah,
and there was a new song. There's a Scouser that they were singing. The first Spurs fan was singing. There's a Scouser, but he wears black. It was so funny. Oh
wow.
Lord. Well, yeah. Now, look. There wouldn't be a window. There wouldn't be a window without this man. Oh, come on now.
I'm convinced that Conor Gallagher himself is putting these rumors out himself. Just to piss me and them off. He's like, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this every single window just to piss him off.
Do you know what? I can't even find them on Transfer Market.
Oh,
that says everything you need to know. Maybe I'm spelling his name wrong.
No.
No. Yeah, I have found them. Yeah, there we go. I was spelling Connor wrong. Right, I have to go through it, Tequila. I'm sorry, I have to go through it. Right, he's a central midfielder. Current market value, 35 million euro. Highest market value was 50 million euro under 24-25 season. His contract runs out in 2029. He does play for Atletico de Madrid. He's a central midfielder. He is right-footed. This season alone so far, he started at Chelsea. Then he went to Chelsea under-21. Then he went to Crystal Palace. Came back to Chelsea under 23, went to West Brom. He was on loan a few times. So this season, what's he done? La Liga, 18 appearances, 2 goals. He's played 310 minutes, 620 in total. So a total of 28 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. I don't know. Nobody's in for him. He is an England international. So
has he even played this year for Atletico?
Yeah, he has. He's played 18 times this year.
Okay, I couldn't see that stat.
I think. Are you looking on Transfer Market?
No, I'm looking on Wiki.
Go on Transfer Market. Conor Gallagher is the brother of Jake Gallagher, who's without a club at the moment. So maybe we could buy him. He's free. Just give him a few quid. And he is the brother of Daniel Gallagher, who plays for Dorking Wanderers. I mean, glamorous clubs of the football world. Look, please, I'm just going to get this over with, Tequila. No, thank you. Thank you for your interest. Go and bother some other club, please.
Judging him just on his ability, I don't think he's not a world beater, but I'm comparing him to our other centre midfielders.
Okay.
I think he's further along than Gray. He's 25 years old, so he's coming into his prime. So he's not a bad age. He's not a young player, but he's coming into his prime, so it's a good age to get him. I think he's better than Gray at the minute, at least. I think he's better.
No,
I think he's. Is he better than Bergville? I think Bergville can become better than him, but I mean, as of this minute,
I think Bergville's better than him at this minute.
Well, then if you
That's
feel
just
that
my
way,
opinion.
well, no, that's what I mean. If you feel that way, then there probably is no point getting him in. But if you don't feel that way, and I don't know if I do, I'm thinking about it.
Well, to answer your question, Tequila, he's played 18 games this year for in La Liga. He's got 2 yellow cards. He scored 2 goals. He's starting 11. He started 22% of the time as a starting 11. He's played 38% minutes, and then goal participation 6% this season.
Yeah, so he's kind of a squad player for them at best.
Yes, yeah.
But I mean that is Atletico Madrid, with all due respect. You know, they're the third biggest team in the country. I think for the right price, I wouldn't be against it, but I don't know if he would be anything more than a squad player for us either. Because if you don't think he gets in above Bergville, do you think he gets in above Bentancur?
See, I don't rate Conor Gallagher, but what do I know?
Well, no, I mean, these are obviously our own opinions. We're not. Neither one of us is.
Do you know what?
I
I think he doesn't get. I think Bergville's a better player than him, but I think the way Bentancur's been playing recently, and the way that he hasn't been the same player since he came back off injury, as well. By the way, I don't think he has been the same player. I think then he could probably fit that place, but he only plays in central midfield. He doesn't play as a 6. He doesn't play as a 10. He plays as an 8. He's a steady Eddie squad midfielder. Then, in that case, then he does probably get ahead of Archie Gray. Is he somebody that we're going to bring in that would just do a steady job?
I think he's someone who can come in and do a decent job. Do I think he's the player who's going to take us to the next level? No. But if he's coming in and being bought as somebody who, as you can say, who can play in that double pivot, and he can play alongside and complement several of our players. For example, you put him next to Paulinho, then Paulinho can sit more and he can try and get a bit more forward. You play him next to Bergville, maybe you have Gallagher, the one who sits a bit more, and let Bergville go forward a bit more. In that way, I wouldn't mind him having him as an option. I think he is better than Bentancur. I think his skill level in my mind currently is similar to Gray, similar to Bergville. So then it becomes, if you sign him, what happens to Archie Gray? Because that literally blocks off Archie Gray's progress.
That blocks him off then. Yeah, it does. So
unless you're going to loan him out. So if you said to me, right, we'll bring in Gallagher, we're going to loan Gray out, then I'd be like, all right. I don't think he's a world beater, but I would be open to it. And we wouldn't have to get any more of these, which is also a selling point.
Okay. So for me then, for the price, Tequila, I think the price is, what did I say the price was? 35 million. We'll probably get him for what? 30? Probably alone with an option to buy in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't sound like Atletico probably would have any problem letting him go, so you might be able to get him for like slightly under.
Now there is one club in from Manchester United in from with the possibility to transfer 78%. So does that mean that they're quite happy to let Mainu go, and they're going to bring Colin Gallagher in to replace for Mainu?
Well, I'd be fine with getting Mainu off them, and they replace Mainu with Gallagher, and we get Mainu. That would be fine by me.
And we can put this bloody transfer room.
Then you can stop being linked to a said window.
How many transfer windows have we done?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the year. It doesn't matter the manager. It doesn't matter the style of football. It doesn't matter the formation we played there.
Same every window.
It's always there. It's always there.
I think from the very first one you me did, I think we've done 1, 2, 3. This is our 6th transfer window together, right? You and me.
He's always there.
He's always there. He's following us like a lost puppy.
I don't know who it is, Dermo. It must be like Paratici or someone who's absolutely in love with this guy. So he always brings it. It's a person who they're in their board meetings, and every opportunity, Paratici's like Gallagher.
I
He just keeps bringing his name up. Maybe it's Lang. One of them's doing it, Dermo. They just keep mentioning him. People are saying, we're after a striker. Who should we bring in? And then Lang goes Gallagher, even though he's not a striker.
Yeah, maybe it's his brother Jake that keeps giving Lang a few quick getting mentioned. Possibility of it happening for me, probably is a 7. Do I want it to happen? A 5.
I think if it's true that we're in for him, if Man United's the only obstacle, then I think we've got a decent chance. But one thing I will say is because he is an ex-Chelsea lad, he might not want the hassle that he might get for joining Spurs. So he could think that United is not going to get any hassle if he goes to United, which he wouldn't. Likelihood, I'm going to go with a 5 because I do think he probably would choose United over us for the reason I just gave you. Do I want him? A 6.
Look, we've got 2 more to go through, guys, and then we'll hope you are enjoying this. Next thing, we're going for James Trafford. Look, we did a big show in Trafford not so long ago. Likelihood of it happening, I'm going to go for probably a 7 or an 8 because I think it may well happen. Do I want him? If he's coming in to be number 1, then yes, fine. If he's coming in to compete with Vicario and be there, then yeah, fine. A 6 or 7 for me. If he's coming here just to make up the numbers, then I don't want that. It's a 4. But it also depends on Vicario going to Italy, which we do know, and we have had rumours, Tequila, and we've heard that Vicario does want to go back home to Italy. So it's a tough one. But for you, Bud, look, there's no point. We discussed this earlier on. So score for you happening and score for you wanting it happen.
I think very quickly. I think that I think Vicario next season won't be our keeper. I think he's gone. I don't know if he's going to go in January or not, but I think he's going to go no matter what. I think the fans and him have had a falling out. Can he win us back? Sure, fans can always be won back, but it just looks like a nasty atmosphere. Some of the stuff he's said, how he's reacted. I don't think he wants to be here. I don't think he wants to be at Spurs at least. Whether or not he wants to stay in the country, I don't know. Go back home to Italy makes sense. He'll probably get more respect in the Italian league because he probably feels disrespected. So good chance he's not our keeper next year. I just don't know if it's going to be the summer or not. I think likelihood for this is if we're actually in for him, I think likelihood is probably an 8 because I think it would be kind of the perfect move for the kid. Do I want him? Say 7. I think there's probably better out there, but I'm not sure how gettable the other ones are.
I think he's better than what we've got already.
He's better. He's certainly better than our two other options.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
Easy.
I do think so. Now, the last one, Tequila. Last one here. It is Christos Tazluzi. Now, I know like people butchering names. I've just totally butchered it so far.
I wasn't going to volunteer to say that. I was going to let you completely.
I was going to give you the. I was going to give you one.
No, I'm good. No. I've got no idea to pronounce that either.
Yeah.
So.
As you've noticed, Tequila's just thrown me to the wolves and just thrown me to the.
Tequila, just call him Christos. Just call him Christos. Just call him
Tequila. What Tequila has done right. He's in the trenches, and he said to me, "Right, Dermo, go above the trenches, have a look, mate, see what's happening." And I've just gone into a
canary in the coal mine, Dermo.
Yeah, that's it. And you're sitting there laughing your head off, thinking, "Told you." Right. It is Christos. He is a Greek international at the moment. He does play for Club Bruges. His contract expires at the end of this year, Tequila. He's now in the last 6 months of his contract. His main position is a left winger, but he can play as a right winger or a striker. His current market value is 30 million euro, which I think is a good price. There is clubs in for him. Our current rumours, interested clubs are Dortmund 32%, Bayern Munich 65%, and Atletico Madrid 25%. As I said, he's a Greek international, 30 appearances for them, 9 goals. He last moved to Bruges at the end of the 23-24 season from Dusseldorf to Bruges for a market value of 10 million. The fee was 6.5 million. This season he's made 17 appearances, 17 goals, 6 assists, 3 yellow cards, 84% starting 11, 86% minutes, goal participation 42%. In the Champions League, he scored 1 goal in 6 appearances. In the qualifiers, 4 goals and 1 goal, 4 appearances and 1 goal. In the Volkswagen Super Cup, is 1 appearance, 1 goal, 1 assist. And in the Croaky Cup, no lie, it's Croaky, Croky, Croaky Cup, wherever the hell that is. 2 possible games. He made 1 appearance and 1 goal.
I can
He's
see
20,
Dermo.
and he's also 23 years of age.
Yeah, he's a kind of a decent age. I kind of like that age at 23. He also, from what I'm seeing, again, I'm on Wiki, just it's easier for me. He was at Norwich City.
Yeah, he was. He was.
I'm trying
So he
to.
knows the English games.
I'm trying to remember if I've seen him play. I don't obviously watch that many Norwich games.
I'm trying to think. Norwich were in the Premier League, weren't they?
This is what I mean. I don't know if they're in the Premier League during his period, 2021 to 2024.
24. 24. He left Norwich at the end of 24-25 season. I went to Dusseldorf for a year.
Well, he was on loan a couple of times. He was on loan for FC Twente and he was on loan to Dusseldorf. So chances are we probably didn't see him because he was on loan for a lot of his time at Norwich. I've heard, this is the thing, Dermo. I've heard of the player, so I know of this player as a young player. So I've seen his name mentioned around an awful lot without seeing too much of him myself. I like the age. His stats over the last 2 seasons or so are pretty good. Granted,
I'm looking at them now.
that is at Bruges, so these things have to be taken into account as well. How much is his value, Dermo?
30 million.
So that is within the Spurs remit.
Yeah, and also his contract runs out at the end of the season, so he's now coming into the 6th. Now he could sign for us on the free.
For a free, I'd be all over it.
Yeah,
for a free, I'd be all over it. To bring him in January, maybe offer them, I don't know, 5 to 10 million to get him in now. I think it's because I think for that kind of price, you can take a punt like we did with Bergville. Not like Archie Gray, where we spent 42 million on him, bless him. But like a Bergville, we took a punt on, and it looks like that's probably going to pay off in the long term. So I think if we can get him in on a free, or we can get him in on significantly reduced money because he's only got 6 months, go for it. So definitely the likelihood, if we're actually in for him, does this say anything about anyone else, any other club sniffing around him?
No club sniffing around him as far as I can see. No, nobody else sniffing around him.
Then
there is. There's Dortmund 32%, Bayern Munich 65%, and Atletico Madrid 25%.
Oh, right.
But does the law of the Premier League make it more attractive to him?
Yeah, but I mean, those two are kind of.
I get what you're saying.
Bayern Munich is, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Yet the German league won't be as glamorous as a Premier League, and La Liga probably is not quite as glamorous as a Premier League. But I mean, those two are two massive. I mean, that's one of the biggest teams in Spain, and that is one of the biggest teams in the world. But I mean, if they come in for him and we do, unless he feels that he's going to go right into our team and he might struggle at Atletico and Bayern Munich to get into their team, then I can see it. There's a chance. But if we all offer him the same thing, he's not going to choose us. So if they only offer him a more of a squad position, then again, Derm, ask yourself this: if you do get this kid in, do you put him right in the first team? Because if not, then I don't know if he would come.
I do. I think he's an upgrade on Underbear and Tell, definitely. And if Tell wants to go, as we know he's unhappy, I mean I mean, we could talk about that transfer to the cows come on. We know it's freaking stupid. I mean, I don't know who come up with that one, but that when we do our end of year review of Spurs and our 2025, which I am going to get your thoughts at the end, which we did talk about in our Christmas Day show. Look, I go, get him in. So for me, because you can get him on probably on a free in the summer, or you could probably pay them 10 to 15 million euro to get him in now. I'll go for 8 for yes, get him in now. And for me personally, for looking at his stats and I think where he plays and where we desperately need improvement, I'll go for an 8 as well for me. 8 on both. You, bud?
I think the likelihood is much lower. My desire, I think an 8 is fair. I think he's exactly the right age. I think, and like I say, because I've actually heard of the player without seeing that much of him, I've heard his name bandied around for many years. I've heard the name bandied around, by the way. by people who are more knowledgeable than me about other leagues. So I recognise the name. He's a good age. We can get him for a decent price. Those stats, especially over the last 2 seasons, look pretty impressive, despite it being a weak league. I just think with Munich and Madrid, it would be hard to knock off interest from one, but because you mentioned 2 clubs who I generally consider higher in the food chain than us, I'm going to put the chances being maybe 4, because I think that we whoever it is, if it's Lan or if it's Paratici, whoever it is, assuming Paratici's even still here, who's got to sell, or maybe it'll be Frank himself who's got to sell Spurs to him. They're going to have to do a bang up job on selling Spurs to him. So 4 out of 10, I think, likelihood.
Okay, just a little bit on players leaving Spurs. Lucas Berg, these are all rumours, by the way, and we will get more information probably before the window opens. But Liverpool seem to be coming in for Lucas Bergville. I think I read somewhere a report of 52 million. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the rumour that's going around. Jeremy Monga from Leicester to 16-year-old left winger, 10 million market value from Leicester to Spurs. Maybe David Clark can let us know a bit about him and what he knows about him. Brennan Johnson now might be going to West Ham. Possible moving to Palace or West Ham, 35 million. Maybe him going to West Ham and their Paquetá.
Yeah, let him go there. Let him go there, mate. You'd be
But
happy.
we get Paquetá in return. So do it as a swap plus money.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah,
I'd be really okay with that. Also, Brent is also Aston Villa are also in for Brennan Johnson as well, and Palace.
I until you said Villa, I was believing it.
Yeah.
Aston Villa wouldn't touch Brendan Johnson.
Right.
This
one has a 78% chance of it happening on transfer. It's the latest rumors. It's Marc-Andre ter Stegen, goalkeeper, Barcelona goalkeeper, 33 years of age. 7 million. I'd snap that up tomorrow.
Yes, so
I have no problem with that. And then Min, who I mean, this one for me is just right. I don't know if transfer market are playing with this now. Min Hu Yang, you know the young lad we brought in to be Sonny's heir apparent. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that Real Madrid are now in for.
Based
So
on,
make that of what you will.
I'm not sure what I mean. Okay, I suppose Real Madrid could have scouted him. Why they didn't move for him before we did, I don't know. Maybe we just got the jump on him. I can't imagine us wanting to sell him because I don't think he's played a game for us, has he?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. Then Real Madrid, 35% Real Madrid for Mickey van der Ven. And then, of course,
that is going to happen. I don't know when, but it's going to happen, that one.
Also, with Vicario, Inter Milan, 59%. That might happen. Vicario, Inter Milan in for Vicario.
Can see it.
Yeah, I'm just going through. There's a lot more here. Matez Tell going to Roma, but that's only 27% of that chance happening. Just going through. Jonathan David's been mentioned again. Juventus to Spurs, 39%.
They need to come. They need to come up with new names there, mate.
Yeah, Scott McTominay as well, the Scottish international, 50 million from Napoli. He's paying Napoli. Coming to Spurs, 21%. That happening. No. Look, Richarlison going back to Everton, 20 million, 28 million, 25%. That happening. And Luca going to RB Leipzig, 12%, 40 million market value. But look, Tequila, that is it. That is all your transfer window thoughts. Look, for me, to end off this stream, Tequila, look, for me, it's going to be one of those windows where we're either going to come out with all guns blazing, or we're going to do what we normally do nothing, get to deadline date, and then we're going to panic like you're at the sales of the January Christmas sales and running in there at 9:30 at night. The shop's only got half an hour left open, and you run around trying to buy as many stuff as you can within about the half an hour you've got. I don't trust Enid to do anything, but for me, I'm hoping to be proven wrong. But what I want to see is in fast, done. Get the work, get our transfers done early, get in there, get the players in, and let's improve the squad and get some of this deadwood out. Tequila, we'll finish off on your wise words, sir.
Well, I've got a bit of a different perspective on this. I've said before that I don't really mind if we don't spend any money in January, because I need to know who the money's been spent for. Because I in my heart of hearts, I just don't think Thomas Frank's going to be here next year.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he is. I think that even if he doesn't get sacked between now and the end of the season, barring us going on some kind of a crazy run, which isn't impossible, unlikely I feel, but not impossible, then we're going to finish, even a top half finish. I think there's still a good chance that ENIC are going to want their own man in next year. So since I believe that is probably what's going to happen, then I do not see the point in buying players for a manager who's not going to be here in 6 months. And I'm fed up of Spurs doing that. So on that basis and that basis only, I'm fine with us not buying anyone. We can get a couple of loans in. We can get a couple of loans in for 6 months.
Yeah, look, I've said it before. I think the next 3 games are vital. I think if he loses against Palace and Bournemouth and then goes out the FA Cup, and then there's nothing to play for, then is there? Bar pride, bar trying to get into Europe, the Conference League, which I don't think we will. Then I think all gloves are off then. But listen, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's sort of entertained you a little bit when you're sitting on your couch having your Christmas, having your turkey sandwiches, or having a drink, watching us talk. Thing. We are back on the 28th, guys, for the Crystal Palace watch along. We're on the air from 3:30 with before the whistle. We've got the watch along, and then afterwards, of course, the predicted lineup will be out the 27th. So watch out for that, guys. And also, play ratings will be out on the 29th, and then we're back then on New Year's Eve with a show before the game on Saturday, on New Year's Day. And then the first day of the year, 2026, we are back with the first watch along of the new year as Tottenham play Brentford away. Could it be El Sacchio for Thomas Franchio? Who knows? But guys, from me, from Tequila, from James, from everyone that works on the channel, again, we wish you a lovely holidays. Enjoy the rest of St. Stephen's Day and Boxing Day if you're in England, but St. Stephen's Day here in Ireland. Have a blast. I know no football. We've tried to fill the void, but go and enjoy Manchester United tonight. They're playing at 8. I'm going to sit down there with a beer and watch the United game and see can they cheer Colin up. But Tequila, as we always do, we always get you to sound out with a famous person, the person that's dear to our hearts. You either like him, hate him, loathe him, you want to dance around him, whatever. But does he have a St. Stephen's Day message for all these lovely Spurs fans who've watched this transfer window pre-thought show?
Dermo, the only message I've got, mate, and the only transfer you guys need is Big Ange back in the saddle again. 5th season always better than the 6th season. 6th season always better than the 7th season. Bring Ange back. That's the only transfer you need. It's just who we are, mate. Happy New Year.
On that bombshell, we leave it there. See you on the 28th for Palace away. Come on, you Spurs.
Eyes on the prize.